let's jump right into this explainer. We've all seen the massive headlines, right? The global anxiety, the wild hype around artificial intelligence. But what if I told you that the sci-fi future we're all constantly debating is actually already here? Today, we are cutting through all that noise to look at how AI is actively, right this second, transforming the foundational pillars of our daily lives.
Here is how we're breaking it down today. We'll start with the AI integration era, move on to transforming how we learn, then look at a window to the brain, adapting to the AI workplace, and finally wrap up with the human-AI partnership.
Section 1, the AI integration era. We are seeing a massive global shift in everyday life.
Which takes us right into Section 2, transforming how we learn, specifically looking at some fascinating stuff out of the Turkish EdTech Summit. Okay, so to really grasp this global shift, we need to look at specific on-the-ground applications. Let's start with education in Turkey. Over there, innovators aren't just handing kids tablets and calling it a day. They are fundamentally moving education way beyond rote memorization. Just look at the sheer breadth of innovation happening. We've got personalized AI learning systems for high school entrance exams, motion-tracked physical games that don't even use controllers, and AI coaching specifically designed for ADHD. But my absolute favorite? There's this micro-learning platform where kids can actually chat with AI versions of historical figures, like Ottoman sultans, before building virtual historical villages. It's literally bringing history to life and transforming classrooms into these highly dynamic, engaging environments.
And look, this isn't some far-off pipe dream. The Turkish Ministry of Education is aggressively proactive about this. They've already built 525 of these innovative classrooms, and get this, they're planning to roll out another 1,500 over the next 3 years to firmly integrate these advanced tools into their core curriculum.
Which actually sparks a really fascinating question. If AI can so profoundly shape and nurture the young minds of tomorrow, can it also protect the minds of today? We've seen how it supports a growing brain. But what happens when this exact same technology is used to protect an aging one? That brings us to Section 3, a window to the brain, focusing on some groundbreaking Alzheimer's research out of the Mayo Clinic. You know, the wildest and honestly kind of terrifying thing about Alzheimer's is that the biological changes in the brain actually start happening decades before any memory loss shows up. To catch this early, researchers are turning to the retina. It's basically an exposed window right into the brain. Because the eye is a direct extension of the central nervous system, doctors can use a simple, non-invasive technique called retinal fundus photography. This lets them check your vascular health cheaply, super quickly, and without using any radiation. But here's where we hit a massive human bottleneck. Alzheimer's messes with vascular health by leaving behind abnormal proteins, like amyloid and tau. The problem is, the changes they cause in those tiny, microscopic blood vessels in the eye, they are way too subtle and complex for a human doctor to ever spot with the naked eye. That is exactly where AI steps in. Researchers are feeding these images into AI models that can instantly analyze millions of tiny spatial features, branching patterns, and vessel structures all at once. To prove this actually works out in the wild, researchers teamed up with a mobile lab driving around rural Arizona. Now, out in the field, image quality naturally takes a big hit. Doctors were finding that even when their scanners give them a green light, 42% of those retinal images were just unusable. But by bringing in generative AI models, they managed to rescue and actually use 57.7% of those previously tossed out images. To put that into perspective, that translates to reliable early detection for a vastly larger number of people, completely regardless of how remote their location is. Just imagine what this means for our future reality. You go in for your standard annual eye exam just to get a new pair of glasses. The optometrist snaps a quick, routine picture of your retina. Instantly, an AI model analyzes it and spits out a highly individualized neurodegeneration risk profile. Catching these signs decades early means patients can enter clinical trials or kickstart preventative lifestyle changes way before their memory ever starts slipping. It's a total game changer. So we've gone from nurturing kids in Turkish classrooms to literally protecting aging minds in American hospitals. AI is clearly capable of some seriously heavy lifting. But that leaves us with a pretty personal question. How do we adapt as professionals when these exact same insanely powerful tools show up in our own offices? Let's dive into Section 4, Adapting to the AI Workplace, looking at a business perspective straight from the IT sector in India. To tackle this workplace anxiety head-on, let's look at what Indian IT CEO Dinesh has to say. Whenever a huge new tech drops, everyone always asks, is this going to take my job? Well, Dinesh gives a beautifully blunt reality check. He says jobs are going, but only for those who are not learning AI. Think about it. An employee using AI can easily knock out a month's worth of work in a single day. So AI itself isn't going to replace you, but a coworker who knows how to wield AI, they absolutely will. When you look at how the workplace is shifting, the blueprint for survival becomes crystal clear. Back in the pre-AI days, rigid technical skills and fast execution were everything. But as Dinesh points out, in a post-AI world, if you can write code but you don't actually understand what your client's business needs are, well, your technical skill is practically useless. AI can handle the fast, rote execution now. What becomes infinitely more valuable is your adaptability, your communication, and your ability to truly understand the humans you're working with. Seriously, think of AI just like the calculator or the internet. When the calculator arrived, it didn't kill math, right? It just let mathematicians tackle way bigger problems. The internet didn't destroy commerce, it completely evolved how we do business. AI is simply the next massive technological evolution. We don't need to be terrified of it, but we absolutely have to upgrade our toolkits and our mindsets to keep pace. Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the Human-AI Partnership, Adaptability in the New Era. Pulling this all together, the value creation happening across the globe right now is just staggering. Whether it's personalizing high school exams and making history fun in Turkey, enabling life-saving early Alzheimer's detection in the US, or supercharging efficiency in the Indian IT sector, the common thread is exactly the same. AI is not here to replace us, it is here to actively amplify human potential. So the ultimate takeaway from this explainer really boils down to the incredible power of human adaptability. As these AI systems take over the heavy data crunching and all that mindless busy work, our core value completely shifts. Our absolute biggest assets in this new era are going to be our adaptability, our ability to communicate deeply, and honestly, our intrinsic humanity. I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. The AI era isn't some distant horizon approaching, it's already here, and it's already reshaping the world around us. So, as AI continues to evolve and take over the heavy lifting, what uniquely human skill will you choose to sharpen today so you can thrive alongside the AI of tomorrow?